The Broncos Panthers grand final qualifier will also be an audition for the Kangaroos fullback jersey when Reece Walsh and Dylan Edwards face off. The Ashes squad for Kevin Walters now looking more formidable, with an NRL captain opting to stick with Australia instead of switching to Samoa.
Things are looking up for Kevy's Kangaroos now that Tino Fa'asuamaleaui has committed to playing for Australia.
Just knowing Tino and his mentality and the way he goes about his football, certainly we can add a really nice touch to the end of his season with the Kangaroos and heading over to England to play in the Ashes.
The Maroons forward considered following Payne Haas switching to Samoa before telling Walters he has unfinished business in the Kangaroos jersey.
When I first got the job, I went and met him just down the road here in Auckland Flower at a little cafe, and I got the impression then that he still had some unfinished business to do with the Australians. He's a great leader as well, which is very much a part of the Kangaroos and how we see him in this and how I see him, in the side.
Kevy's also been in contact with Gatoni Staggs, who's eligible for Australia and Tonga.
Fingers crossed he makes it the Kangaroos.
The coach plans to reward players who have taken their teams deep into the finals when he names his Ashes squad.
It's high-pressure footy, it's sudden death, and this often brings the character out in players, which, as the coach of the Kangaroos, we want to see, because heading to England with the Ashes, it's high-pressure rugby league as well, and we'll see how these guys handle the pressure.
Reece Walsh among those who could be on the plane to England.
I'm a big fan of Walsh, like most of Queensland is, and also just the way he goes about his footy. He's in good touch at the moment, and the Broncos will need him to be firing up on Sunday for sure. The match-up with him and Dylan Edwards is classic in it for the game and also for the Kangaroos.
Adam Jackson, 9 News.
Notorious for annoying the Maroons at Suncorp Stadium, Panthers forward Liam Martin is ready to be the villain again in Sunday's preliminary final. And Broncos playmaker Ben Hunt expects to be targeted by the serial pest from Penrith.
An elder statesman of the Broncos, Ben Hunt believes the club's young bucks are now mature enough to deal with the finals furnace.
I definitely think I've seen a lot of guys really grow up this year and learn what it is to be a first grader and how to play those long games, and when something goes against you, not just throw it all away and give up a bit. I think we've learnt to really dig in and fight.
Hunt set for a battle with Liam Martin on Sunday, expecting to be targeted by the Panthers' serial pest.
He didn't have to say it. I kind of expected it coming from Marto that he'd be coming off the back fence, the big fella. But yeah, that's the way he's always played his game. Yeah, he's I think one of the toughest players in the competition, and he runs hard and he tackles hard, and got to get the shoulders ready.
Hunt will switch from 5'8" to hooker when Ezra Mam is injected off the bench, denying the halves disruption is too much of a risk in a preliminary final.
I think he'll be fine, mate. You're working with a couple of different guys around you, but as a half, I just still want to play my game, just keep the same role, and then when I go into the middle, it's a position that I'm definitely used to, playing in the middle in some big games, and I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Hunt's opposite number, a rare Panther who hasn't tasted premiership success.
I think each week been gradually getting better, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm here now.
The challenge now for Blaze Talagi, silencing a sold-out Suncorp Stadium crowd.
Everyone knows what Brisbane can do, but I think we're going to come out there, going to bring it to them, and everyone's going to do their job, and I don't see why we can't come away with a win.
Jacob Funk, 9 News.
The club that launched the careers of Cameron Smith and Billy Slater is on the cusp of a record-breaking achievement in the Queensland Cup. The Norths Devils can clinch a 4th premiership in 5 years if they defeat the Burleigh Bears in this weekend's grand final.
Everyone's hunting Norths these days, which is great. It makes us have to find somewhere near our best footy every week, and we enjoy that.
The undefeated Brisbane Tigers take on Burleigh in the women's decider. Both grand finals will be played at Redcliffe on Saturday.
The pain of sitting on the bench and watching his then Melbourne teammates lift the premiership trophy in 2020 is driving Nicho Hynes to lead the Sharks to this year's decider. The halfback not hiding the fact Cronulla will go after Storm number 7 Jerome Hughes in Friday's preliminary final.
The Sharks on the road again, flying south from Sydney, arriving in Melbourne late this afternoon. Nicho Hynes bracing for a battle against his old club.
I still got a lot of best mates in there, I still keep in contact with a lot of them. Obviously not this week though.
In order to keep his own premiership dream alive, the playmaker must crush the hopes of one of those best mates, Storm skipper Harry Grant.
It is an awkward situation because Harry and I do talk pretty regularly. We often talk about our games and the team we come up against and what each other did against those teams sort of thing. And I think he's got the wood over me a majority of the time. I think I've only beat him once. So, yeah, hopefully he's the one who's going to be sad and I'll be the happy one.
Hines is also mates with rival halfback Jerome Hughes, who is doing everything possible to be cleared to play.
We were actually talking a couple of weeks ago and he gave me a little hint that he was going to probably be right for the prelim.
What do you think the Storm would do if you were coming back from a busted shoulder and a broken arm?
I know exactly what they'd be doing. They'd be making me make 50 tackles, I reckon. So, yeah, hopefully Hughes is ready to do that.
Fueling Nico, memories of Melbourne's grand final triumph in 2020 when he famously sat on the bench for the entire match, unused by Storm coach Craig Bellamy.
All I know is that it was hard sitting on the bench for a long time and not getting on, but still getting a ring. Like, obviously the ring is the best feeling ever, but I'd love to play in a grand final and be playing for 80 minutes and have a big impact in the result.
Hines' sight is now on beating the Storm in Melbourne for the first time.
Yeah, it might be a little bit extra special beating them, but in saying that, it's also a team that I hold pretty close to my heart.
The Sharks will hit the training paddock tomorrow morning for the final time ahead of Friday's match. Cronulla players confident they can cause another major upset on the road and book their place in the grand final.
I just really don't want it to end, to be fair, so hopefully we can get one more done and get our way into a grand final.
In Melbourne, Zach Bailey, 9 News.
Panthers young gun Blaze Talagi is ready for the Broncos to send plenty of traffic his way in Sunday's preliminary final at Suncorp Stadium. While many Panthers are chasing their 5th premiership, Talagi is after number 1, and his combination with Nathan Cleary could be the key.
Blaze Talagi grew up playing with Lachlan Galvin, and like the young Bulldog, he's living with expectation.
The inner confidence you've got, that obviously is important.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of not only me, but like any footy player, to be able to have that confidence that allows you to, be free and not have any doubts.
The Eels junior joined his arch rivals for the opportunity to be Nathan's +1, and now he's 1 win away from a grand final berth.
It's been a good journey. I think we've come a long way with our combination and just enjoying playing with him.
You hang out with Nathan outside of footy?
Not necessarily outside of footy, but like on our off days or when the boys catch up, me and him, have lots of conversations about life. So yeah, it's good hanging around him.
What do you learn from those conversations?
Oh, just little things like, I don't know, even just watching what he does, his preparation, his everything he does, his diet, everything like that. It's pretty cool to watch.
Talagi plays with a spark of youth. He laps up the professionalism of the Iceman.
He's just so cold and composed, so it's pretty cool to watch. Yeah.
The Iceman, yeah.
The Iceman, yeah.
Is he actually like that?
Yeah, he is. Everything he does is always composed. So he is.
Does he make you feel calm on the field?
Yeah, for sure.
Blaze showed he can hit hard in defence against the Bulldogs, but they also ran a few tries through his side of the field. He knows the Broncos are coming for him and Casey McLean.
Are you worried about that?
No, I'm not worried about it, but we'll do our work during the week and we'll come prepared game day.
Are you ready for that challenge?
Yeah, I think this whole year we've been sort of targeted and we definitely know it's going to be a new challenge and we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
Danny Weidler, 9 News.
Mal Meninga insists the Perth Bears have plenty of interest from top-shelf NRL players as the expansion club works behind the scenes to secure its first signings.
We're not going to go on a scattergun approach and just take on anyone that becomes available. We want to handpick people. We want to make sure that those players and those staff members are the right people for our organisation.
A win today for Meninga's successor at the Kangaroos, Kevin Walters, with Tino Fa'asuamaleaui committing to Australia for the upcoming Rugby League Ashes. Swan superstar Isaac Heaney was up close and personal with the AFL Premiership Trophy today and says the key to Sydney winning it next year could be securing a big name during the trade period, like Carlton's Charlie Curnow.
I think anyone would take him for sure. He's an unbelievable player and has been for so long. And I think a key forward will do us extremely nicely. So if he wants to come up there, we'd definitely take him.
Curnow wants out, but is still contracted for another 4 seasons. England has made its Ashes intentions clear, naming 6 fast bowlers in its squad for the summer, headlined by spearheads Mark Wood and Jofra Archer. Leading the attack, Captain Ben Stokes and newly promoted Vice-Captain Harry Brook. However, there was no room for the man at the centre of the last Ashes series, Johnny Bairstow. It was a sombre day for English cricket fans, though, with the passing of famed umpire Harold Dickie Bird at the age of 92. Bird umpiring 66 tests and 3 World Cup finals over his respected 23-year career. He's been celebrated for his fairness, humour and love of the sport. Aussie legend Dennis Lilly labelling him the game's greatest umpire. 2 English heavyweights have survived scares to move into the 4th round of the League Cup. Liverpool scoring with 5 minutes to go to beat 2nd Division side Southampton 2-1 at Anfield, while Chelsea fought back to defeat 3rd-tier team Lincoln City 2-1. And they've achieved it all on the footy field, but Buddy Franklin and Jonathan Thurston have a new challenge in their sights, the New York Marathon. The duo ran 30 kilometres in Alice Springs this week as part of the Indigenous Marathon Project, booking their ticket to the Big Apple.
When anyone thinks about doing a marathon or a long run, you can't just do it. You need to put in the work, you need to run.
Got the 26K and I was like, I can smell the finish line. And then I got the 27K and I was like, what's happened to my feet? I can't lift them up.
Aussie icon Rob de Castella mentoring the 12-strong group. Buddy, fresh as a daisy afterwards. Our mate JT, not so much. Hang in there, Jonathan. He's a great sport and been putting in a lot of work.